So today I'm finally going to do the video on how I cut my hair at home. I do use a product to help me cut the hair better, and it's called CreaClip, and it looks something like this. So this is a bigger clip and this is the smaller clip. And just a quick disclaimer before I explain the product that I'm not being sponsored whatsoever. So let's just get into the tutorial. Now I'm going to pick up my CreaClip and I'm going to clip it from the side, and I'm also going to make sure the bubble and the leveler is in the middle so the CreaClip is straight, and you slide it down to whatever length you want to cut, and whatever hair that's left at the bottom you cut it right off. So then with my scissors, I cut my hair straight, and then you'll see I'll turn my scissors upright and I'm going to cut it at an angle to create like natural cut rather than a really blunt cut. And then I repeat the same thing on the other side. Now I would really suggest you guys to cut a little bit smaller length than you actually desire the first time, because once you cut it, it's not going to come back, you know. So it's better to cut small amounts and then keep cutting it until you get to your length. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So once I take off the CreaClip, you'll see that this section of the hair is actually longer than the other. So then I went back in again and cut off a little bit more short. And this is better because you don't want to keep going back and forth with the sections and keep cutting shorter and shorter until you realize that your hair length is way shorter than what you actually desired. This is how you actually create layers. Now if you want to see how this will create layers, you can check it out on CreaClip's YouTube channel. You'll see it really clearly and in much more detail there. So here you'll actually notice that the leveler on the CreaClip is facing me, so I can see if the bubble is in the middle and if the CreaClip is straight or not, and then I just cut it right off. Now this is how I cut my bangs. This is actually a really important part because it's what's going to frame your face, and I personally like to keep the hair around my face a little bit below the chin, so that's how much I'm going to cut off. So I'm going to section off my hair from the top to a little bit in front of my ears, and I'm going to clip away the hair at the back. So the parting is kind of in a shape of a triangle. Now I'm going to brush the bangs and I'm going to pull it up in the front. And here I'm taking the smaller CreaClip where the leveler is facing towards me so I can see if the clip is straight or not. I'm going to drag it down and I'm going to cut it straight. And I'm not going to cut off too much because I am going to go back in with the hair and cut it off a little bit shorter in a second. So make sure you don't cut off too much in one go. Since I do my parting on the left hand side, I like to cut my bangs at an angle diagonally. So when I clip my CreaClip, I turn the leveler to set it on a diagonal level, and you'll see that I'm not going to cut it straight. I'm going to cut it at an angle. Again, this is shown much more detail on CreaClip's channel, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll definitely link it in the description bar below. And this is how I cut my hair at home, and as you can see, my hair actually looks more thicker than before. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I definitely can. See you in my next video. Bye!